Mapenzi yako baba ndo the real revolution. Yamefanya wezi, walevi, waasi, walezi, wabadilike wawe mabalozi wa serikali yako, wachungaji wa mali yako. My name is Pete the Poet. I'm a four-time award-winning spoken word artist. I'm also a photographer and video producer. I have my own brand that does that. I'm also an actor. I enjoy doing acting. Done a short film and featured in a TV show for at least 2 seasons. That is what I enjoy doing. As an artist, I can write a spoken word piece for an event, for an organization, and they can pay for that. They can pay for me just writing that piece, or they can pay me for both writing and performing that piece. So how that works is basically you write a piece to champion their cause. And I've had, actually my best paying shows have been corporate shows where an organization reaches out to you and they want you to write something that reflects what their brand is all about.
My name is Tamia Luisa Dulo. I am a law student, but on the side, I am a baker. The cake industry is the best industry to be in because cake is needed for all events, birthdays, graduations, anniversaries. So on a normal day, I'll get a call from a random person who's gotten my number on Instagram or former client has given my number to. They'll call, say, I want a cake. I ask them what flavor, what size, what writing do you want, send me deposit, then yeah, I make it, send it to them via Uber or they come pick it from my place.
My name is David Wambura. I'm a student, KCA University, pursuing Bachelor's of Business and Information Technology full-time. I'm also a brand strategist at a brand management firm. The firm is called Galaxy Kenya Limited. Our role mostly is to take a physical business, or what we would call the traditional business model, and then couple it up with the digital platform.
Spoken word poetry is a growing art in Kenya, and I believe globally. And started doing it professionally from the year 2014. Is it paying? Yes, spoken word has gotten to a place where a few artists I can say is paying. It's paying for them, but it's not where we would wish it to be. And it's been a pleasure because at least now as an artist, I can write a spoken word piece for an event, for an organization, and they can pay for that. They can pay for me just writing that piece, or they can pay me for both writing and performing that piece.
A friend of mine pushed me to start the business. He insisted, I have a celebration, I want you to make it, and I want you to charge me. Go do your calculations. At that point, just did it anyway, got paid, enjoyed getting paid, and he started from there. So on average, my cakes go for a 1 kg. The lowest is 1,500, the highest is 2,100.
I remember being called for like a corporate gig where, and this was like 4 or 5 years ago. I was told to go write a project and was given the theme, and I was told we're gonna pay you. They were picking from a number of spoken word artists, and my piece is the one they settled for. So this is like 4 years ago, so I'm kinda in between being established as a poet and being upcoming. So it's still gonna pay you 5,000 bob. It was like, at that time I was like, okay, because it's just like a 2-minute thing I was gonna do, not much preparation. So 5,000 plus exposure, right? So I was like, at least put some money to it, don't just say exposure. Yeah, I remember after performing, the crowd was wild, people were impressed. Some public figures you might know were there. And then I remember a certain lady coming to me telling me, go take your money. I was like, okay. So in my head I know it's 5,000. So I go check the envelope. The form I was signing is written my spoken word poetry 20,000 bob. It's like, what? I was 25. I asked because I didn't want to first of all tell them what I had been told. So yeah, it's so 20,000. This is for me. Yeah, you were the one who did poetry. Yeah, I was the only one who had done poetry at that time. I told, yeah, that's your money. I signed, took the envelope, excited of course because what I was gonna be paid was like a quarter of what I was actually paid. And so we had to have a conversation with the person who had linked me to get the gig. I'm like, yo, even if you want to get your cut, I think you need to be more appreciative of this, man.
There's a lady whose son used to order from me. So I used to bake for all their family events, but they had never met me because I just sent the cake to them. So on one day they decided to come pick the cake. And this lady was like, this is you. You're the Tamia from Baked by Tamia. You're so young. And they say, you're so skinny, you don't look like a baker. And she really commented, you're young, you're living in your parents' house and you're baking. And they used to pay all through. But when she met me, she stopped paying. She didn't pay for that time. And I think she saw that, you're living in your parents' house, you don't need it. That really annoyed me, because especially because this son was my friend. And I asked him, why is your mom not paying me? Oh, I'll talk to her. Then eventually both of them stopped picking my calls. It's not worth it, like arguing over 1,500. I have a friend who stopped her business because she wasn't getting paid, and I felt so sad. I didn't know what to tell her, because she's a stylist, and she said that people didn't see the value of her telling them what to wear. You're going for an event and you want someone to dress you, tell you this outfit is what works for you and this one doesn't. And a lot of her clients were her friends or her sister's friends, but they weren't paying. They didn't see the value in that work, and eventually she stopped. And that's honestly very sad.
At our age, everybody expects that we are living over the shadow of our mother, so we are all in our mom's house. We don't have bills we pay. Like, come on, 150 literally I've paid your lunch for that day. Like, I've given you your time. Come on, like, you should appreciate. It's rained that day. So most people, and then there's the whole concept of a young person can't start a big thing. Because let me tell you, one of the things that we've encountered also, people search us first on online, so they get us from the online platform. So that's usually the first centerpiece, and they see the brand and they are like, actually what we've realized is that our name is so big that when we show up for ourselves, when we show up to those boardrooms, people are like, you are who? From where? Are you sure I remember there's a client who had to ask for my identity twice. Because they're like, the name? And the people who show up, they're like, no. This entity can't be managed by you. This is a joke. Like, they don't ask how much we charge. They're always like, can you do this for me? Can I have it ready at this particular time? Then you do the work. Then they are like, once the work is ready, they're like, do you have an M-Pesa number? And then they wire the money. Just like that. And you have to be comfortable with what you receive.
As a spoken word artist, I've really appreciated working with the corporate world there. So I actually prefer working there, so that the gigs that I'm not paid for are the kind of gigs where I know these people cannot afford me. So I'm able to decide, I'm like, what is a charity event? Let me just go perform for free, rather than working with people who don't commit.
As much as they will say that you're not paying rent, you live in your parents' house, you don't have any expenditure other than your business. I believe that I still need to be paying, because the things that my parents won't pay for. Like, if I'm going out, I won't ask, Mom, please give me money. I'm going out for lunch with my friends, because it's not within their budget to pay for your leisurely activities. And other than that, there are things that I'm saving up for. Yeah, I will not live in my parents' house forever, and I need to have some money to see me through as I leave that house.
Rarely have I even had people really asking, what do you do with your life? Like, everybody expects you to be in campus pursuing a degree and just learning. Like, that's all there is. Nobody wants to go the extra mile and, like, what are you doing? And the few who dare to ask, it's always from a point of favor. They already know either you are a good designer. So when they come to it, they don't approach you from a business aspect of it. They always come and, like, today I've thought of promoting your business. So what do we have? Like, are you free? Can you do this for me? And they expect you to deliver, irregardless. So invest in these people. We have a young crop of Kenyan who are very aggressive, and they have a lot to offer.
So heavenly speaking, I'm a star. They call me Poet Pete Star, and that's why me ni star.